sleeping off a vicious hangover the morning of August 18th.
Well, the night before, my family owns a restaurant called Los Cocos at Fairview, and we were celebrating the paperback edition of my book, Arriba. It's now available on Amazon for $8.99, so we celebrated a little bit the night before.
Right, you celebrated. In fact, you would describe that hangover as vicious.
Well, I did took a few Advils, but that was okay afterwards.
So on the morning of August 18th, you were awakened by a loud bang.
Yes, a loud bang noise. It really startled me. I woke up and I wanted to make sure my neighbors were safe.
You stumbled out of bed.
Well, I got out of bed, yes, and I stumbled a little bit.
Actually, you wanted to go back to sleep.
Well, I did have 3 hours. Uncle Roberto was talking about his lost poodle story over and over, and I'm like, Uncle Roberto, I need to go to Japan. I'm going to Japan for a motivational talk on tomorrow. Roberto stopped talking, and he just kept on talking. He wasted my time.
You walked over to the Parks house.
Yes, I went over to the pilot's home. That's where I heard the gunshots.
You looked in the window and you saw a young girl lying on the floor.
Oh, the scene part, yes, she was on the floor in the pool of her own blood.
So you called 911.
I immediately called 911. I just wish they'd gotten there sooner.
The operator said you were intoxicated.
The operator said I sounded
Objection, Your Honor, is this hearsay? Response?
Your Honor, the 911 responder, Your Honor, the witness heard what the 911 responder said, and furthermore, we're not speaking to the truth of the matter, that he was intoxicated, but that the operator thought he sounded intoxicated.
Your Honor, I believe that the defense is stating that he was intoxicated from this response by the 911 operator.
What are you offering this for, not for the fact that he sounded intoxicated?
Your Honor, we're simply trying to show that the witness was seemed intoxicated to others at the scene, but not that the witness was actually intoxicated.
Is there any sort of hearsay exception you'd like to point to for that?
We would point to the existing state of mind of the 911 operator.
Last response.
Your Honor, this response was from somebody else and it's being used to prove the truth of the matter that Mr. Chapin was intoxicated on that day.
I'm going to sustain the opposing counsel's objection.
That's right.
Your Honor, I make a motion to strike that.
Don't think we got any answer on the witness, but if we did, then the answer would be certain.
Okay, thank you.
You walked in the front door of the Park Center.
Yes, I walked in once I saw Sydney, I walked in and I wanted to make sure she was okay, but she wasn't.
That front door was unlocked.
Yes, the front door was unlocked. I get in, thank God it was unlocked, because if only I got in there sooner though.
Mr. Chapin, this time you were nauseated.
Yes, that's why I took Advils. I wish I had my leave though. Too bad I ran out of my leave. 2 leave a day would have relieved me of everything, but all I had was Advil.
You were still sleepy-eyed.
Yes, I just woke up a few seconds ago, but after I saw Sydney, it just rushed with adrenaline came through.
You had only had 3 hours of sleep that night.
Yes, 3 hours of sleep. Uncle Roberto kept telling his story about his lost poodle puppy over and over and over, and I'm like, Roberto, I heard this story many times. Just let me go home.
Actually, during that night, you were drinking more vodka Red Bulls than you could count.
Well, my family has.
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Response?
Your Honor, the witness has never said how much he had to drink the night before, and this just goes to show that he actually did not know.
Overruled.
Well, my family has a tradition of like taking a sip and passing the cup down, so it's kind of rude to count. My grandma gets really angry.
Mr. Chapin, you saw Jessie Duran inside that house.
Yes, she was in there. She was talking on the phone, and she kept saying on the same page, or something.
She seemed startled. She started sobbing.
At the beginning, no. She just hung up and just stared at me. But afterwards, when she started saying, I did it, it was on my foot. That's when she started going all crazy.
She actually
started
seemed
crying.
frightened.
Not at the beginning, though. At the beginning, she just hung up and stared at me. Later on, she cried and told me, I did it.
Mr. Chapin, you cannot tell us, you had not spoken to Jessie Duran before August 18th.
No, I only know them because they used to play with toy guns outside, It was either water guns or Nerf guns. That's what they usually did.
You would see Sydney and Jesse playing outside of the yard.
Yes, like I said, with water guns and Nerf guns. That's what I usually saw them playing.
You cannot tell us if Hayden Duran properly warned Jesse about firearms.
I do not know. I
Objection,
don't-
Your Honor. This witness's lack of personal knowledge.
What was the question?
I'm asking the witness if he could tell us if Hayden Duran properly warned Jesse. This directly speaks to the complaint that the plaintiffs offered.
Once.
Your Honor, my witness is being asked to attest to the behavior of Hayden Duran. So he can't attest to that.
I think the question, if I remember it correctly, is can you tell us? Let's see if he can tell us or can't. If at that point he can tell us, then feel free to review your objection. Overruled for now.
Just to repeat, you cannot tell us if Hayden Duran properly warned her daughter about firearms.
No, I can't. I usually travel around the world, like Japan, Madrid, those areas, and I usually never home. I talked to them maybe a few times, but I don't know them that personal.
You cannot tell us if Hayden Duran properly supervised her daughter Jessie.
Like I said, I don't know the Durans, nor the Parks that personal. I know they're my neighbors. Unfortunately, I have to travel around the world speaking about arriba, get people motivated.
You cannot tell us if Hayden Duran properly disciplined her daughter Jessie.
I can't tell you that either. Like I said, I'm not stalking the family, so I don't know.
No further questions.
May you redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Mr. Chaplin, you are excused for your testimony.